Good morning. Coming up here on a Friday GMA. Breaking news. Ukrainian President Zelensky is heading to Japan to join the G7 summit in person. This as President Biden negotiates with his team over the debt ceiling from Hiroshima. Speaker McCarthy now saying that he sees a path to a deal. And the other breaking news, a deadly workplace shooting in Ohio in what police are calling a target attack. We're going to have the latest on those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
Ahead in our next hour, GMSA, the summer heat is almost here, but that doesn't mean your water bill has to go up. How SAWS is helping people pay for water-saving plans. Plus, as we celebrate our graduates this weekend, a family is celebrating a degree for one of their own, even though he won't be there. The remarkable story is still ahead. And checking TransGuide, as we always are, monitoring the situation on the highways and byways of the Alamo City this morning. Flashing lights and an incident working right now. I-10 at Vance Jackson westbound is the title card on the screen right now from TransGuide. We'll check back in with Stephen coming up. This morning on GMSA, San Antonio police are searching for whoever's behind a deadly hit and run. Where it happened and what comes next in the case. Plus,
signs of progress in ongoing debt ceiling talks, but could a potential deal face resistance on Capitol Hill? I'm ABC's Justin Finch with more from Washington.
And let's look out there with live cam. Prepare for that humidity, but good news, it's Friday. And also good news, not too bad this weekend. We're going to be checking in with Mike very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. We made it to the end of the week. Rise and shine at 6 o'clock on your Friday, May 19th.
We made it to Friday.
Pat yourselves on the back.
Yes, we did a good job. Now let's go ahead and look forward to a nice weekend as far as the weather goes, and not too bad, right? You said there are rain chances though, Mike.
Yeah, and that's going to be basically tonight. You know, we've been talking about the threat for severe weather, which is still there, but it's going to be tonight, late and overnight. And then during the day tomorrow, I know a lot of folks we were talking about have maybe some graduation ceremonies tomorrow afternoon. Odds are in your favor that you won't get rain tomorrow afternoon. We're starting off with a lot of clouds around here this morning. We do have some fog. Visibility has dropped back down there in Kerrville down to just 1.25 miles. Pretty good in the metropolitan area. Gonzales 5 miles right now. Temperatures are up anywhere from about 6 degrees here in town, 6-7 degrees to almost 10 degrees warmer than what it was at this time yesterday. You were down in the upper 50s in Kerrville at this time yesterday. We do have a lot of mold out there. It went up from the previous day's reading. Grass is on the low side. Throughout the rest of today, mostly cloudy skies, and then we're going to be clearing on out later on today. Now, yesterday we made it up to 88, and the humidity was still okay in the afternoon. We are going to have more humidity hanging around here, so you'll feel every bit of that 90 degrees once we go into later on this afternoon. And then tonight, and this is going to be late tonight when we have the chance for some of those showers and thunderstorms to move on into the area. And there is the chance that some of those could be on the strong to potentially severe side, especially in parts of the hill country. High winds and hail are the biggest threats with that. Maybe a couple of heavier downpours as well. But most then this is going to be out of here by about sunrise, early morning hours. Just a few scattered showers. We'll take a look at the rain chances over the weekend and the temperatures. Like I said, overall, very, very nice weekend. Details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority. Stephen, got some flashing lights out there still?
Yes, we sure do, Mike. Let's get a look there at 10 at Vance Jackson. Now, remember, this is along the access road, so we're not seeing an impact of the main lanes, but we're seeing a lot more activity now that the minutes have gone by. Right now, first responders are working, it looks like, clear things up, but we still have a pretty heavy presence out there. You notice that there are some people actually walking and investigating that scene. No word yet on any injuries, how many vehicles are involved. We are working to get some details confirmed. Please just drive safe through that area. Make sure you watch out for first responders, and hopefully everyone else is doing okay out there. Taking you to the map, remember that's in the eastbound lanes along the access road as you approach Vance Jackson. No buildup of traffic, so that's the good news for drivers out there, but just keep your focus on the roads if you see those flashing lights out there. Quick update, did receive an email from our viewer Eddie. We mentioned about a stalled vehicle that we heard reports of along 281 near Jones-Maltzberger. Looks like that was just actually an 18-wheeler waiting to make a delivery, so that's actually good news to report. But always good to keep your eyes on the road, and if you plan on hitting the roads heading into the Alamo Alamo City. Shouldn't be too bad for you right now. 24 minutes along I-10 eastbound if you're traveling in from Bernie. 26 minutes along 281 southbound if you're traveling in from Bulverde. I know David Sears is very happy about that. And 26 minutes along I-35 southbound heading in from New Braunfels. All right, let's get one last look here at the scene developing at 10 at Vance Jackson. We'll continue to keep a close eye on this, and hopefully in the next few minutes we'll have a better update to report. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio police investigating a deadly hit and run on the city's southeast side. SAPD says it happened just before 2 a.m. on Roland Avenue near Pecan Valley Drive. A man driving by told police he saw a damaged bicycle and a man lying in the street who died at the scene. Police believe the victim was involved in a hit and run, but haven't said anything about a suspect.
A woman is recovering in the hospital this morning after rolling her vehicle overnight. San Antonio police say the crash happened just after 1 a.m. on Loop 410 and Bandera Road. That's on the city's northwest side. The woman driving apparently lost control of her car, hit another car, and rolled over on 410 just before that Bandera exit. She was taken to University Hospital with minor injuries. And topping your morning headlines, we are taking a live look at the nation's capital. That is where President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy say they are finding common ground in debt ceiling negotiations.
Now, their expected breakthrough comes just 13 days away from a possible default coming up on June 1st.
However, there are signs the deal could face hurdles in Congress.
ABC's Justin Finch reports some lawmakers are now threatening to stonewall any potential deal unless their demands are met.
President Biden keeping tabs on debt ceiling talks all the way from the G7 summit in Japan.
I'm confident that we'll get the agreement on the budget, that America will not default.
The White House going on to say President Biden directed his team to continue pressing forward for a bipartisan agreement, and he remains confident that Congress will take necessary action to avoid default. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy also sounding more upbeat.
Where we were a week ago and where we are today is a much better place.
But on Capitol Hill, concerns that progress could hit another roadblock. The Republican House Freedom Caucus now wants debt ceiling talks suspended until the Senate passes the GOP-passed House debt ceiling bill. That legislation calls for nearly $5 trillion in spending cuts before raising the debt ceiling.
We've made good progress this week, but the work continues. No one will get everything they want.
In the Senate, some in the president's own party are pressuring him to invoke the 14th Amendment to raise the debt ceiling without congressional approval.
I have confidence and faith in the president in these negotiations, but I do not have faith in Speaker McCarthy and right-wing Republican House members.
The president says he's considered the 14th Amendment option, but knows it could invite a slew of legal challenges, while the country would still have no agreed upon means to guarantee all of its debts are being paid. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, firefighters in North Carolina are poring over the charred remains of a deadly fire at a construction site, searching for victims after flames tore through a 7-story building. Dramatic video shows a huge inferno on parts of the building collapsing in Charlotte, North Carolina. It sparked when a machine on the second floor ignited. A family of 30-year-old construction worker DeMonte Sherrill says his company called them to say he did not survive. Sherrill's mom watched his final moments play out on Facebook Live.
I was hoping, but just from the live and the way the room filled up with smoke, I didn't see it being any hope.
The cause of that fire in Charlotte is currently under investigation.
Supreme Court has ruled that Twitter cannot be held liable for aiding and abetting terrorism when it hosted tweets created by the terror group ISIS. Now, the High Court also dismissed a closely watched case about social media content moderation involving Google. In doing so, the justices skipped a decision that legal experts warned might have upended the internet. Critics have said social media platforms should be held legally responsible for societal harms, including terrorist attacks. The pair of rulings are wins for those platforms which have faced lawsuits over the issue.
Right now it's 6:08, 72 degrees.
Still to come on GMSA, ChatGPT is now available for iPhone users as a free app. We're going to look at how it works before 6:30.
And after the break, summer's almost here, but that doesn't mean your water bill has to go up. How a SAWS program could help you get water-saving plants for your yard.
Looking out there with live cam, yes, starting humid, and yes, expecting rain, but probably in the evening hours. We're going to check in with Mike about those chances, but looking good over the weekend. We'll be right back.
If you're watching the clock this morning at 6:12, this morning a new program is helping San Antonians put water-saving plants in their yards.
SAW's Water Saver Coupons allows residents up to $400 in rebates if you replace part of your lawn with drought-tolerant plants.
Sarah Costa spoke with SAWS about the program and shows us how she used the coupons for her own garden.
The recent rain has my backyard looking pretty good, but this was just a couple of months ago after enduring the summer drought and heat.
Pouring more and more water on it, and that just seems like a losing battle.
An expensive, non-sustainable battle.
It's the largest non-edible crop in the United States, and we use more water on it than anything else that we grow in the U.S., and that seems kind of crazy.
Yikes. It's why the Vice President of Conservation with the San Antonio Water System, Karen Guz, says SAWS is a program that offers coupons for drought and heat-tolerant plants to replace at least 200 square feet of your lawn and get rid of your sprinkler heads if you have them.
I did the program back in March, and here's how it works.
Take a picture of the grass area before. Upload and apply for coupons at gardenstylesanantonio.com. SAWS residents can apply for up to 4 landscape coupons per year with a lifetime limit of 8. The coupons are valued at $100 each. It takes about 10 days to get your coupons emailed back to you. I got $300 in coupons. I took my coupon codes to one of the participating local nurseries, Fanix. You can only use these coupons for SAWS-approved plants. Here, they have a section to make it easy. Most of these plants are native with the exception of some. For example, tropical milkweed. Guz explains how they are working with growers on cultivating more native options because they're hard to come by for now.
We also need them to be ones you can actually buy. And some of the native plants that we are looking forward to promoting in the future haven't yet gotten into cultivation. And it could be because they're not easy to cultivate in a greenhouse. And so it's a balancing act.
Each $100 coupon is good for 15 1-gallon size plants or small trees in 5-gallon containers.
Without those $300 in coupons, my total for 45 plants would have been close to $538. If I had only done 15 plants, my total would have been closer to $75.
I tilled up my area and got to digging. And here is the finished product. I took pictures and emailed them back to SAWS before my deadline in October. And 2 months later, look at that growth. But more importantly, I don't have to water the area as much, which Guz says if you're watering your grass often before, you can save up to a quarter of watering. More importantly, you are creating an urban ecosystem for our very important pollinators and helping our rapidly growing city save water.
Water conservation is a benefit to us economically because it helps us stretch our water supply in an economical way. And then what we hope is that we're providing ways for people to do it and enjoy that landscape even more than what they had before.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
I like the little owl and butterfly that accompanied our QR code there.
Yes, and the yard looks beautiful.
Great job. Great job, Sarah. 6:15 on your Friday.
Let's check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
Well, most of the roadways look pretty beautiful, I would say, but we do have some issues. You know, roads can look nice, but unfortunately, there are some problems still out there to report. We mentioned a crash earlier along the access road of I-10 at Vance-Jackson. That's still being reported. We're going to get to that shot in just a moment, but quick look around town at 1604 Petranco. Yeah, things are shaping up to be nice, but this is the incident that was really the headline of the roadways. 10 at Vance-Jackson, that's in the access road eastbound lanes. We still have a heavy first responder presence out there, folks, so watch out if your commute takes you into the downtown area because it's very likely you could see that taking place along the access road. So keep your focus out on the roadways. And check those vehicles too because we have another stall reported here at US 90 eastbound at Nogalitos. Not causing any issues, but it's something that we're going to keep a very close eye on as well because a lot of folks tend to travel in from Castroville into the downtown area. So just keep that in mind. But why look at the map? Thankfully, it's still pretty green out there as we get more folks commuting this morning. We're going to keep a close eye on things, but let's get one last look around town. Definitely shaping up to be busier there at 410 at Babcock, and McCullough is one of those busy areas too. We'll see the east and westbound lanes get a little bit more crowded as more people get out there on the roadways. But thankfully right now, for the majority, things are looking pretty nice.
Okay, thanks, Stephen.
You're welcome.
Good news as well for people going to maybe graduations this weekend.
Yes, overall, I think the weekend's going to be very good. I love the temperatures coming up this weekend. And yes, while there is a chance for some rain, not going to be a washout at all. Now, as far as hitting the bus this weekend, or we will just do it this way. We'll skip the bus stop right there and check out what's going on as far as computer models. So throughout the rest of it, we've got clouds starting off this morning, and then throughout the rest of today, a lot of sunshine out there. A few more clouds come in. This is 10:30 tonight, and that's when some of the showers and thunderstorms start to get going and move into portions of the hill country. And this will continue on in the overnight hours. So pretty much this is going to be an overnight event. It will not be during the day today or the evening hours. Going out this evening, going to be fine as far as that's concerned. Early morning hours, we get some of those bigger thunderstorm clusters that are going to be developing, and right through sunrise just after that. And then look at that, by 9:30 in the morning, this particular model has most of the rain on out of there, and going into the afternoon, 1 or 2 showers or a thunderstorm trying to crop up around here. But again, if you've got graduation, if you've got other outdoor activities tomorrow, odds are definitely in your favor that you won't see any rain. And then going into Sunday, even lesser chances for some rain around here, just 1 or 2 isolated showers or a storm. Now, some of those storms tonight, or in the overnight hours, I should say, are going to be, or at least the potential for them to become strong to severe. The atmosphere, while it is somewhat volatile, to kind of compare last Friday night, boy, that was just a tinderbox, but this is not anywhere near as volatile as what it was last Friday night. But still, 1 or 2 of those could be on the strong to severe side, and it's going to be, again, high winds and hail being the biggest threats. Flooding is a low threat, but with the ground saturated, you get one of those hefty downpours. Yes, that could cause a little bit of runoff as well as in the low-lying areas. Now, as far as humidity is concerned, it is more humid out there this morning, and it's going to be staying pretty humid throughout the day today. And as this front moves on through here, this is not one of those that just sweeps in the bone-dry air. We will still keep dew points, albeit in the low 60s. Still, we'll keep enough humidity around here, and that's going to be the situation even going into next week. We get the slight bit of a break, but it's not like it's going to be any sort of bone-dry air or anything like that. All right, as far as the sunsets, yesterday it was, well, I have to say, pretty sunset. I have to agree with you. We are going to have a good-looking sunset tonight. Sunrise this morning, different situation with some of these clouds hanging around here. That front is going to be moving through late tonight, and again, throughout clouds this morning, and then sunshine 90 today. That's going to touch off some of those showers and thunderstorms. So 40% chance for all of those storms tonight. And then tomorrow in the morning, those storms, then they will die off. 1 or 2 of them in the afternoon. And Sunday, again, couple of showers here and there. Temperatures are going to be in the low 80s, even just staying in the upper 70s over the weekend for high temperatures. The humidity is going to be there, but I mean, we'll take those numbers any day. And then going into next week, 1 or 2 showers, maybe Tuesday and Thursday. Temperatures get back up to normal readings right there. But notice how the low temperatures aren't really going to be anything, jacket weather, anything like that. So we do have some humidity hanging around here. But again, overall, I think the weekend is going to be very nice with those temperatures, especially. A couple of showers. You got graduations. You could be fine. Keep an umbrella. Always.
Yeah.
Be a good scout. Be prepared.
Be safe.
So, yes.
Thanks, Mike.
If you're attending commencement this weekend, congratulations to your graduate and your family for the journey. 6:20 right now, 72 degrees.
And just ahead, the husband whose wife was killed by a drunk driver after their wedding reception is breaking his silence in an exclusive interview. That preview is next in your GMA First Look.
Ultomiris is for adults with generalized myasthenia gravis who are anti-acetylcholine receptor antibody positive. It is lasting control over your GMG symptoms. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with 8 weeks of freedom between infusions. Ultomiris can lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious, life-threatening meningococcal and other types of infections. If not vaccinated, you must receive meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before starting Ultomiris. And if Ultomiris is urgent, you should also receive 2 weeks of antibiotics with your vaccines. Before starting Ultomiris, tell your doctor about all of your medical conditions and medications. Ultomiris can cause reactions such as back pain, tiredness, dizziness, limb discomfort, or bad taste. Ultomiris is here. Ask your doctor about managing your generalized myasthenia gravis with Ultomiris.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
Is there anything you'd say to the driver?
It was an unthinkable tragedy on their wedding night 3 weeks ago. An allegedly drunk driver crashing into them as they left their reception. And this morning, for the first time since losing his wife Sam, the groom, Eric Hutchinson, is telling his story to GMA.
She was so happy. I mean, planning the wedding is extremely stressful, and she just had a weird, calmness.
You guys were having a happy night.
Yeah, we were.
Through the wedding and the reception, one of the best nights of your life.
It was.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of this emotional interview, his powerful message, and how Eric Hutchinson wants the world to remember his bride. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
In your consumer headlines, OpenAI has launched a ChatGPT app for Apple users. It's free to download from the App Store right now. And since the app rolled out in the U.S., OpenAI says it will expand to other countries in the coming weeks. An Android version is also expected soon.
There's a new Apple TV feature for sports fans. Users can now watch as many as 4 live streams of Major League Soccer or Friday Night Baseball with the Apple TV 4K. The option was previously limited to third-party services such as Fubo TV or YouTube TV.
And get ready to ditch your ordinary laptop. There's a new device called Spacetop. Spacetop ditches a physical screen for augmented reality users wearing special glasses that create a 100-inch virtual screen. First batch of Spacetops will be limited to just 1,000 units.
Looks neat. Time now, 6:26 and 72 degrees for now.
Still ahead, Bexar County prosecutors want bond revoked for a man accused of shooting his ex-wife and stabbing his 2 kids, one of which who died. Just ahead, gut-wrenching testimony from some San Antonio police officers who were there at the crime scene. Plus,
so smart too. He just cared about people. He was always there for you if you needed him.
A 20-year journey is being fulfilled for a family who's honoring the graduation of one of their own. Why they say it's a dream come true, even though he won't be there.
And checking TransSky, the sun is now coming up. Taking a live look at Highway 90 and Military and 90 at Meadow Creek. We'll be right back.
Police say an apparent hit and run took the life of one man early this morning. Good morning, I'm Melissa Cole, and coming up next, we'll tell you what you can do to help police solve this case.
Also on GMSA, the city of Seguin is asking for help to fight property crimes in the area. What businesses and homeowners can do right now to help.
Outside with Line Cam, waking up with us right here on a Friday morning, looking at some morning cloudiness over San Antonio, out there by San Antonio International Airport.
Good morning. Happy Friday. It is 6:30 and it is May 19th.
Thanks for starting your morning with us. We've made it to Friday, and Mike Osterhage joins us now with a look ahead to the rest of the end of the work week.
Yes, indeed. Starting off a whole lot different than we did yesterday. Remember that beautiful sunrise we had yesterday? And obviously a lot more clouds hanging around here. It is warmer, and you'll notice the humidity a bit more when you step outside. We've got temperatures 73. At this time yesterday, we were down around mid-60s, so 6-7 degrees warmer, and dew point at this time was down around 62, 63 degrees, which was a little more comfortable. Now it's up to 69 with those winds coming in here out of the southeast. We do have a little bit of fog around the area. Kerrville, 1.5 miles. Gonzales, 5 miles visibility as of right now. Nothing in the metropolitan area. Just, again, watch out for these patches, and they tend to get thicker right around sunrise and just after that as well. So again, in the next hour or two, we need to watch out for some of that fog. Upper 60s, low 70s. It was in the upper 50s yesterday at this time in parts of the hill country. We do have a lot of mold out there. Grass is on the low side. The updated count will come out in about an hour or so. Mostly sunny skies today, 90 high temperature. We did hit 88 yesterday. And in the afternoon, yes, it was hot to be out in the direct sun, but it's going to be even hotter today, just given the fact that that 90 is going to come with a little bit more in the way of some humidity this afternoon. Then this evening is going to be fine. Storms will move in late tonight, basically in the overnight hours. Early tomorrow morning, that's when we'll have the best chance for some of these showers and thunderstorms up through right around sunrise just after that tomorrow. And after that, a scattered shower thunderstorm here or there in the afternoon, and it will be cooler tomorrow as well as on Sunday. Again, 1 or 2 showers, but rain chances then over the next tomorrow as well as Sunday are not that great once we get past tonight. We'll talk about tonight's storms and the threat for them being severe. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Stephen. Big problems out there?
I wouldn't say big problems, Mike, but definitely things folks want to be aware of as the Friday commute does get rolling. Look, we all want to drive off into the weekend already, but there's still some issues out there that you want to be aware of. 37 at Fair Avenue isn't really a problem spot right now, but what we've been showing you on these TransGuide cameras is just traffic's getting a little bit busier, but we still have that crash that was reported right there along I-10 Vance Jackson. It's not impacting the main lanes. It's really off on the access road, and first responders have been out there for a little while. This crash was reported by TxDOT sometime before 6, so we have been keeping a very close eye on it. But the good news is we're not seeing a big impact when it comes to the congestion out there. But give it some time. Those eastbound lanes tend to get pretty crowded as more folks are waking up and heading into the downtown area. We'll watch it very closely, but also keeping an eye on this stall at US 90 eastbound in Nogalitos. Another problem spot for commuters because a lot of folks are making their way in from Castroville. We'll watch that closely, but we're adding another one to the list that it looks like our map didn't pop up, but another stall reported at 35 northbound outside of 410 Fisher Road. So you see a lot of flashing lights out there. Hopefully we won't see a lot of those today, but we're going to keep a close eye on the roadways, and we'll have more updates on your Friday morning commute coming up a little bit later on. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a man is dead after police say he was involved in a hit and run overnight.
Alyssa Cole joins us live from the downtown area. And Alyssa, we understand this happened on the southeast side on Roland Avenue near Rigsby.
Yes, good morning. Roland Avenue in that area. It is a street, but eventually it turns into a bridge, and it's right connected to a cemetery. On that bridge, there's no access to sidewalks, and just before 2 o'clock this morning, there was a driver in the area moving through Roland area, and that's when they found a mangled motorcycle as they continued to travel through the area. Unfortunately, they did see a male body on the ground. Of course, they reached out to police. Police determined that it was an apparent hit and run. Right now, we don't have the identification of that victim, and police are still searching who's responsible for this hit and run. If you have any information about who is connected to this crime, you are encouraged to call Crime Stoppers. The information is on our website at ksat.com. But for now, reporting in San Antonio, Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Alyssa. Gut-wrenching testimony Thursday as San Antonio police officers took the witness stand in the bond hearing of a man accused of shooting his ex-wife and stabbing his 2 children, one of whom who died. Stephen Clare is charged with capital murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. First officers who got to the crime scene told the courtroom what they saw. Officer Veronica Butler said she found the mother, Mariah Clare, outside the home in a pool of her own blood.
I really thought she was going to die in my arms. I applied pressure to help her, and I spoke to her to keep her breathing, just to let her know that she's not alone.
Other officers also told the court what they saw. The hearing was about Claire's bond, which is at $3.5 million. Prosecutors want to have it revoked, and his attorneys want it lowered. It's unclear when the judge will make a decision.
A postal worker is accused of going on a spending spree with stolen bank cards. Jessica Rubio is facing a felony charge for credit or debit card abuse against the elderly. San Antonio police say the victim was an elderly woman who lived along Rubio's mail route. Now, right now, the USPS Office of Inspector General confirms it's investigating what happened. If charged Rubio with mail theft, that would be a federal crime.
Meanwhile, the city of Seguin is trying to use every tool it can to fight rising property crimes across that area. They're asking businesses and homeowners with security cameras to voluntarily register them with police. The internal map or list would be used by Seguin police to speed up investigations. Now, other cities like Leon Valley, New Braunfels, and Castle Hills also have this voluntary registry. Police Chief Jason Brady says it's not mandatory for people on the list to hand over any video.
It's not just video. The video may lead us to look in a certain area or know about more precisely time of day, and then we can kind of narrow in and tailor our investigation to sort of ferret out those leads that would be productive.
Business owners we talked with said they would be willing to register with police. It would help keep down property crimes.
Happening today, the last day of school for Sabinal ISD. The district announced its plans earlier this week to end the school year a full week early. Now, in a letter posted to the district's website, the superintendent says the decision is, quote, due to increased anxiety approaching the one-year mark of the shooting at Robb Elementary. And there's no doubt the shooting on May 24th, 2022 has deeply affected Uvalde, the surrounding communities, and beyond. We hope you will join us next week as we look back on the past year with families, survivors, and residents during our special 1 year in Uvalde.
The in-depth report airs this coming Wednesday. That's May 24th, 9 p.m. here on KSAT 12. ABC News is airing their own special report. That's tonight at 8 on 2020, right here on KSAT 12.
And time now 6:37, and we're at 72 degrees for now.
Just ahead, the family of a man who died 20 years ago is celebrating his graduation this weekend at UTSA. Their remarkable 20-year journey to honor him. Next. 6:41, the road to graduation day has been long for members of a local family.
They've been waiting over 20 years for their loved one to receive his college diploma, and this weekend they'll all be there at UTSA when it finally happens.
Katrina Weber tells us why the graduate himself will not be able to attend.
A photo shows the last time Paul Mayfield wore a cap and gown as a high school graduate decades ago. Now there are graduation vibes in the air again.
I'm so excited that my brother's going to be getting his bachelor's degree.
Just so very happy that this is happening.
His family is overjoyed, and they know Paul would be too. He died in 2003 before he could finish his coursework in interdisciplinary studies at UTSA.
I wrote a letter to the university president of UTSA, and I just said, you probably don't get this request every day, but could you give my brother a degree?
To her surprise, the school readily agreed to the posthumous award. His family believes it's an honor for a life well lived.
See the sun shining, like I definitely feel his presence.
He was so smart too. He just cared about people. He was always there for you if you needed him.
The siblings feel it's a way to celebrate Paul's memory and uphold a value instilled in them by their parents.
And the idea that education was a way to transcend and go to a next level of living.
In our core nuclear family, between mommy and daddy, all 8 kids, we have 19 college degrees.
Paul had been the only sibling without one, but that all changes after Saturday's ceremony. Family will be in the stands and on stage.
Yeah, I'm honored to be able to attend his graduation.
Getting up and getting dressed and getting there, walking the stage for my uncle, that does mean a lot to me.
Although this degree has been 20 years in the making, Janice quickly figured out what she's going to do with the diploma. She has a spot picked out on this wall right here next to the others.
He would be like, wow, you did this? You know, is this real? Because it's really unbelievable and pretty incredible.
For the family, it's a dream finally fulfilled. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
I know it's bittersweet, but congratulations to the Mayfield family.
Yes, congratulations. And time now, 6:43. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of problems out there on the roadways, but let's check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
We're going to be keeping our fingers crossed throughout the morning commute stuff, but thankfully, yeah, things look great. 90 west at Zarzamora. You can really see the commute is getting busier, but not too bad. 281 at San Pedro, north and southbound lanes look great. Just a lot more folks out there. The issues have been pretty minimal. In fact, we only have a few out there on the roadways as the commute does get rolling this morning. So let's get you to it. I-10 eastbound at Vance Jackson Road. We've been keeping a very close eye on this crash that was reported along the eastbound lanes, right there on the Axis Road. So the good news is it's not impacting a majority of commute because it's off of the main lanes, but we want you to be aware and we hope everyone's doing okay. We got to take a drive over here because we did actually have a stalled vehicle reported along US 90 eastbound at Zarzamora or Nogalitos, that's already cleared out. So we're going to get that removed from our map. Now what we're seeing is a lot more of the congestion already slowly building. You can see it right there, US 90 eastbound. That's always a problem spot for folks heading in from Castroville. Northwest side, hello to 1604. You can see some of that yellow and orange already taking shape out there. We'll watch these areas closely. Construction has been the main headline on the roadway. So as a quick reminder, we have the asphalt work taking place around 9 this morning. May 21st is when it should wrap up, but the work is probably going to continue for a little while longer. In the meantime, we'll see alternating lane closures along the frontage roads in both directions at Overlook Parkway. Plan your commute ahead of time. Head over to ksat.com/traffic for a full list of closures. But right now, things are pretty much open. Not bad.
Not bad at all. Mike Ostrich has cracked his knuckles.
I heard that.
Ready for his forecast. He is warmed up and ready to go. He was stretching off camera a moment ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a good weekend.
It's either knuckles cracking or bones creaking. I don't know which. But hey, take a look at this picture. And Mr. McClellan over there at Woodlawn Lake always takes the most beautiful shots there. And
looks like the Notebook.
Yeah, the egrets flying off and the sunsets. It just kind of calms you down just looking at this picture.
It's beautiful.
Love that. Thank you very much for the KSAT Connect shot. All right, we are not going to have any sort of picture-perfect sunrise this morning. As you can see, plenty of clouds out there, a little bit of kind of fuzz along the horizon. And tonight we have the chance for some of those strong, potentially severe storms. And this is going to be late tonight in the overnight hours. And the darker shade of pink is kind of the scattered variety, be a 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. And this lighter shade would be a 1 on a scale of 1 to 5, just an isolated threat for that. So basically, I-35 up into the hill country, the slightly better chance to see 1 or 2 of those stronger storms. And it's going to be hail and high winds, the biggest threats. Now, as far as flooding, if you get a heavier downpour and the ground is pretty well saturated, yes, that would be a possibility. But these two are going to be the biggest threat. And anytime there's a severe storm, you can't rule out a small tornado. You can't rule it out completely. Not that the odds of that are great at all. All right, here's what the computer model looks like. And this is not until 11 o'clock when things start to work their way into the hill country. So between now and then, obviously we have clouds this morning, but things are going to be clearing out quite nicely. We'll have a lot of sunshine. So if you are planning on heading out this evening, fine, no problem there. Things get going then in the overnight hours, and a lot depends of what happens tomorrow afternoon, depends on what happens tonight. If we get these big cells like this computer model's indicating to develop, they tend to, and think back to last weekend, we had all the rain on Saturday, Sunday was fine. It's because the atmosphere got kind of beat up. So if it gets beat up overnight and early tomorrow morning, we then won't have anything and won't have a chance to recover during the day. So this is sunrise tomorrow morning about this time. Still some of those showers and thunderstorms around here. And this particular model is indicating with those big cells developing, beats up the atmosphere, and then not much going on during the afternoon. 1 or 2 of those showers out there throughout the afternoon hours. So again, if you have outdoor plans tomorrow afternoon, everything's pretty much going to be fine. Small chance for a shower or 2. We start off with clouds this morning and steady temperatures, upper 60s, low 70s, more sunshine, 84 at noon, and it's going to be a toasty 90 later on today with plenty of humidity out there as well. It's not oppressively humid, but again, enough to notice it. Then look at what happens with temperatures. We get a front moving on through here. It's going to knock on average 10 degrees off the high temperature going into the weekend, and then we will just barely recover to average normal highs by the middle part of next week. Low temperatures, now with this front moving through here, you think back couple weeks back, couple months ago, we had those fronts come in, and that bone dry air would come in with those fronts, and that would really knock low temperatures down. Well, these are going to be staying up there, mid-upper 60s and close to normal, which indicates we're not going to get a huge surge of drier air moving in with this frontal passage. It will bring in, like I said, lower temperatures, but it will still keep those lows staying in the mid and upper 60s around here. But the highs are going to be in the low 80s and upper 70s over the weekend, so no complaints there. The strongest storms are going to be late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And then after that, after say 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, odds of rain are going to be very small around here. So if you do have outdoor plans this weekend, I would not change them at all. Nice, pleasant temperatures, a couple of showers, thunderstorms tomorrow, 1 or 2 maybe on Sunday. And then as we go into the next week, rain chances are going to be really not, pretty much almost non-existent. A shower or 2 Tuesday, maybe on Thursday. Temperatures, though, will be held in check right close to normal.
Yeah, well, that's okay to see the 80s there for now.
Again, overall weekend, don't change any outdoor plans.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Time now 6:49, 72 degrees.
And let's look out there with a live cam. We are looking forward to that good weekend, but for now, a little humid out there, 72 degrees. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up here on a Friday GMA. Breaking news. Ukrainian President Zelensky is heading to Japan to join the G7 summit in person. This as President Biden negotiates with his team over the debt ceiling from Hiroshima. Speaker McCarthy now saying that he sees a path to a deal. And the other breaking news, a deadly workplace shooting in Ohio in what police are calling a target attack. We're going to have the latest on those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
All right, this morning you're invited to attend the final day of a health and wellness conference. It's happening at the Norris Conference Center on West Loop 410. There will be workshops and resources related to mental health and wellness. It's a free event and open to families and professionals.
It is 6:53. Let's get another check on the roads with Stephen Cavazos.
You know, the Friday morning commute, I would say, is pretty good right now. If you are heading out the door in the next few minutes or so, you're in luck. Not a lot is slowing you down out there. 410 at Babcock. Check out those east and westbound lanes. But getting busier there at McCullough, that's usually a pretty big hotspot there for traffic. So we can expect to see some slowdowns as the morning commute really does get going here. But let's get you to our map. There still are some issues out there despite some of those quiet roadways. We have this crash off of the main lanes. It's along the access road at I-10 eastbound at Vance Jackson. From what I'm seeing on TransGuide, we still have first responders out there, but hopefully we're catching the tail end of this. And let's hope everyone else out there is doing okay. But it really doesn't seem like it's causing so much of an issue for traffic right now, but it's been there for quite a while. So we may have to find out exactly what's the big holdup. We take you to our map, and what we're going to see a little bit more of is the congestion. Of course, it's the usual hotspot. If you're traveling in from US 90, expect some bumper to bumper traffic out there. That's the normal congestion. And then, of course, State Highway 151 eastbound for folks heading into the downtown area from the far west side, and as well as the northwest side near Helotes. That's always expected. So again, right now is the best time to take advantage of some of the quiet roadways before it gets pretty busy. Quick reminder here off of 281, we're going to see that asphalt work taking place, and I drove by this yesterday, so I do know it's holding up traffic just a bit, but keep in mind from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, we're going to see that work take place. It's expected to wrap up on Sunday, May 21st, so we still have a few more days to go here. What we're going to see out there in the meantime, folks, is going to be an alternating lane closure along the frontage road in both directions right there at Overlook Parkway. But you can always head over to ksat.com/traffic for a full list of all the current closures. But as we get one last look here in town, things are shaping up to look pretty good right now, Mike.
Don't need sunglasses this morning. You will later on this afternoon. We got a lot of clouds around there and some fog in spots. Now it's started to move into New Braunfels, Gonzales, Kerrville, 1.75 miles visibility as of right now. Mild temperatures, a lot milder than yesterday, a lot more humidity. We're going to make it up to 90 later on today. And yeah, kind of on the hot side. You'll feel it with that humidity. Nice this evening. Then overnight is when we get some of those showers, thunderstorms developing late tonight, early tomorrow morning through sunrise. Just after that is going to be the best opportunity. And then throughout the rest of the day tomorrow, just a stray shower thunderstorm here and there. You got outdoor plans this weekend, would not change them, and lower temperatures this weekend.
Outstanding.
Yes, good news for a Friday morning.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here for GMSA at 9.